Emily from the Rink of Bedlam blog, and this vlog is all being done with the help of Appliances Online, who supply this absolutely fabulous fridge freezer, and it's in aid of post pals. That's why I've been collecting all these penguins. Now I'll show you, there's quite a few penguins in here as well. I'm looking after them very well. They're being kept cool and well fed. They do like it in there. So there they are in there. There's a few in here too. They're very happy. Now, when I told everybody that I was going to be collecting penguins, I said that I would make them famous penguins and that they would become stars. And so I decided to do Pingurella. Now, I'm sure that you will love it, and I do expect you to join in. There's quite a bit of audience participation. You have to go boo and hiss if you just think pantomime style-y. Okay, so enjoy. Today I'm going to tell you a fishy tale, a tale of penguin princes and princesses, of pool parties, evil penguins and fairy godmothers. Are you sitting comfortably? Please feel free to join in. I'll tell you when. Once upon a time there was a pretty penguin called Pingurella. She lived with three ugly penguins called Pongetta, Pertrude and Pushti, who didn't like her very much, although she tried really hard to please them every day by collecting all the fish for dinner and digging a comfy hole in the snow for them whenever there was a snowstorm. But they still hated her. Right. In all of penguindom, there never was such a hard-working, beautiful penguin. She had a cute beak, lovely bright eyes and sleek, flippery flippers. A bit like my own, like this. One day an exciting bit of penguin post arrived by a royal whale. It was an invitation to a royal pool party. The penguin prince was going to choose a bride. Pingurella's ugly sisters were so pleased they polished their beaks and noot noot excitedly. When Pingurella asked if she could go, they told her to go fish. No way would they let her. Isn't that awful? On the day of the pool party, her sisters waddled off in all their finery, while Pingurella sat at home feeling very sorry for herself. But just as she sat on top of a pile of ice, squawking sadly, a strange fish appeared. "Flippering fishes, you made me jump," she said. The fish smiled and said, "I'm your fairy godmother, and I'm here to grant your wishes. Do you want to go to the pool party?" He had a very deep voice. "Yeah," yelled Pingurella, "I'd love to go, but how can I? I'm too scruffy." Then something amazing happened. The fairy godmother jumped right out of the water, did a double backflip and shouted, "Orca-cadabra!" A flurry of snow showered over Pingurella, and when it had passed she found herself wearing a snazzy, silvery, posh dress. "I look well fit," Pingurella shouted. The fairy godmother grinned and threw herself up into the air again, doing yet another backflip with a fancy twirl while sprinkling even more snow over her. Again the snow cleared, and Pingurella found herself plonked in a fantastic bright red sports car, which only 2 seconds ago had been a pile of rocks. Hooray! Hooray! Woo! "I'm going to the pool party," she squealed. The fairy godmother told her that the magic would last until the clock struck midnight. Pingurella said that she couldn't tell the time, being a penguin and all. The fairy godmother told her not to worry and just to listen out for bong 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 bong, and then she'd have to waddle away very quickly. If she didn't leave on time, she'd turn back into a scruffy penguin and her flash car would turn into a pile of rocks again. Pingurella arrived at the pool party. There were tons of penguins all lined up, waiting to get in. Some had already drunk too much sea slush and had fallen over. Naughty penguins. Pingurella went to the big bouncing penguin at the front of the queue. "Can I come in?" she asked, looking hopeful. "Your name's not on the list, so you can't." "Oh, go on then," he replied. He was quite a posh bouncing penguin. Pingurella waddled into the party and saw the prince. Fwah! He thought her beak was the most gorgeous beak he'd ever seen. "Fancy a dance?" he asked. They danced to Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice, and Pingurella threw some shapes on the dance floor. Then she picked them up because she was a very tidy penguin. They paddled in the pool, ate tuna butties from the buffet, and it was love at first sight. The ugly sisters, Pongy, Pertrude and Pushti, were so jealous they clicked their beaks and tutted. And then the clock chimed. Oh! Pingurella counted carefully. Bong, 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 bong. Join in if you like. Bong, 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 bong. And then belly flop for the door. Let me out of here! I've got a taxi to catch! The prince was astounded and flippered after her, but she was too fast. In fact, Pingurella was so speedy she left a Prada welly boot behind. When the horrid, big ugly sisters got home, they were full of gossip about the pool party and told Pingurella all about a stunning penguin that had ruined their chances of meeting the prince. Pingurella just smiled to herself and thought she'd never see the prince again. But the prince had other ideas. He got all the penguins in the penguindom to try on this stylish welly boot, knowing that it would only fit on a well-fit penguin that he'd been trying to pick up at the pool party because she has such slim flippers. When the welly boot arrived at Pingurella's house, they all tried to squeeze into it with no luck at all. They even said Pingurella couldn't have a go. But she was a very determined penguin and tried anyway. And it fitted perfectly. The ugly penguins were very upset and turned their backs on her, but Pingurella didn't give two nukes. She was going to marry the Prince Penguin. Woo! Off she went to the ice palace, where she had a massive do. They all dined on jellied eels, smoked salmon and tall glasses of sea slush. Pingurella and the prince declared their undying love for each other and promised they'd never throw a fish at each other. They swam off into the sunset after a romantic beaky kiss, and they all lived flappy ever after.